on, everyone? Welcome back to the In the Round podcast. You're hanging out here with Matt, and we've got a really cool episode for y'all today. Also want to plug our sponsor. Shout out to Whaletail Media, and of course, our friends in the green world. We love our friends at Trailside CBD Emporium. Our boy Andrew, they're always hooking you up. They have got products ranging from hemp to Delta 8 THC. They got shit for your dogs. They got it all. And we're going to be sampling some products here on the show today. Today we're really going to be hitting. They got this new thing, these pre-rolled blunts that are awesome. Also these new cannabinoid gummies, the 30 milligrams a piece. They're awesome. And of course they got the Skittles. They got the dabs. They've got the lit bars. They've got it all. Flowers, dabs, gummies, edibles, oils, cartridges, whatever you need to be feeling a certain type of way and doing it legally here in Nashville or anywhere around the United States of America. Y'all look up Trailside CBD Emporium. Use the promo code ITR at checkout. 20% off your order. Also got a plug. We got a great writers round tomorrow from when this episode drops. We have got our buddy Ward Gunther putting a round together. We got our girl Farron Rachel's putting a round together. We got Davey Arnold. We've got all kinds of good stuff. Nick Walsh is on there as well. And speaking of great stuff, a great episode for y'all today. In my opinion, one of the coolest dudes in this town. A guy that we've gotten to know a lot recently. And a guy he's true. He's a straight shooter. He's from Missouri. And he is just all around a badass individual. Y'all enjoy this one. It's our conversation with Mr. Nate Fredrick here on In the Round podcast. What's going on, man? How the hell are you doing?
Doing all right.
You're doing all right. Well, we are big fans of what you do, Mr. Nate Fredrick. My first introduction to you was The Dreamer. That was my first introduction to you, man. And how long you been in this town?
It'll be 6 years in July. I moved here July of 2015.
Really? So 6 years, damn,
yeah.
Man.
It's been an interesting ride.
Yeah, man. So. And Nashville, a lot of people get caught up in all the bullshit in this town and all that. And you're a guy who I would say, like, you don't do that necessarily. You do your thing.
Yeah. That's been out of all of the good and bad things that I feel like I've done since I've been to this town. That was one thing that was the most important to me, was to figure out myself and kind of stick to my guns. And for a while it was kind of a lone gunner type of deal, but in the last 3 years I've really found people that are like-minded that kind of support each other and support almost the kind of left of center outlook of Music City.
Dude, absolutely. So backing up, you're from Missouri. Were you doing music stuff out there? I know you're a hell of a golfer.
Yep. Yeah, so I played golf in college. I went to 3 or 4 different colleges and never got a degree. But
hell yeah.
So I did that, and I didn't start playing. I'd always played guitar since I was like 12 years old. I took lessons for about a year and just kind of did it for myself. And then I was running from the police when I was 20 years old in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and fell onto a railroad track and broke my jaw. And then during that time, that was when I started to write music and then kind of figure out how to sing it.
Really?
I never learned how to sing. I've just been learning how to sing for the last decade.
Can you disclose what the hell was happening in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Yeah, so me and my friend Alex Sanders, I think he'll be okay with me dropping his name. He was actually playing football for University of Missouri, and we were in Fayetteville over the summer, hanging out, and drank a little too much and ended up there were on Dixon Street, which is the main street in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at University of Arkansas. There were these guys that were in a loft a couple stories up, and they were throwing beer bottles down at us because we were in kind of a verbal fight, and one of the beer bottles hit on the middle of Dixon Street, and right at that time a cop turned the corner and thought that we were throwing bottles out there, and then we ran, and they arrested him over by like a cul-de-sac type of place, and I kept running like I thought I was going to go into the woods, and it was really just a tree line and then a cliff about 25 feet, and then I dove onto a railroad track, and then I guess was knocked out, obviously, and then at about 4 in the morning they found me by the dumpsters up at a bar called On the Rocks, because I'd made my way back up.
Yeah.
And then and the rest is history.
God damn.
For that. So, yeah, so that's kind of what got me into music.
Really? So
yeah.
that's
I mean, I'd always played guitar.
Yeah, but that's kind of cool, because that's like an outlaw thing, and that's very much the kind of, like you were talking about, the left of center. Like, that's some Johnny Cash shit right there.
Yeah, my relationship with music has always been that, more of a therapeutic sense than a vocation or an occupation kind of deal. So it definitely has a special spot in my heart that I try not to. I try to focus on, and not take for granted or tarnish.
Yeah, no, for sure. So growing up in Missouri, what was that like? Where in Missouri are you from? Because I've been out there a little bit, and in most of Missouri, there's a whole lot of nothing. People don't realize that, like, Missouri's pretty freaking country, and just you kind of got to find ways to have fun and do some
mean,
shit.
I grew up in Southwest Missouri, so it's about 30 miles north of Branson, and Missouri, until I moved to Tennessee, and found out that people really were like proud of where they were from. It's not that I wasn't. We're just kind of in the middle, and we just kind of do our thing. Yeah, I mean, it's Springfield, Missouri is the home of Bass Pro Shops and O'Reilly Auto Parts, Cashew Chicken.
Cashew Chicken.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that moving to Nashville, you're in a hub of people from all over, everywhere, and people ask where I'm from, and I say Missouri, and they're just like, oh, okay. It's kind of a flyover state.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Now, what inspired the move to Nashville? Because you talk about that incident in Fayetteville,
right?
Then what? Were you still living in Missouri at that time? Like, what were you doing
that
with
was
your
like,
life before music?
I was in between. I played golf at a Division II school, Drury University, and then I was getting ready to transfer to University of Arkansas, and that was the summer before I transferred, and that transfer didn't end up happening until a couple years later because of that incident. So then after that happened, like, I was kind of going through the recovery process of that, and started playing music, and I played my first show actually with my jaw wired shut. I was sitting at my friend worked at a bar called Springfield Brewing Company, and there was a guy named Art Bentley who had a residency there on Sundays, and he called me up, and I played a Ryan Bingham tune that I knew with my jaw wired shut, and it was absolutely terrible. But at that time, I'd started to kind of write music, and it just kind of organically grew into, like, performing it at people's houses, and then putting a couple gigs together, and kind of figuring out how to be a musician, at 20 years old.
Yeah. And how old are you now?
31.
Oh, so you've been doing this thing for a minute now.
Yeah, and it's been a process, It's just and will continue to be.
Yeah, dude, and like recently, we'll get into talking about the record and stuff that's coming out now in about 11 days, which was perfect time. 24 days.
Yeah.
Or 24 days. No. Well, this is dropping. This is dropping on the 15th.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll have a single. The last single of the process will come out. It's called "Love Someone" on the 14th or 15th, and then the full record comes out February 26th.
Yeah. So 11 days from when we're dropping this episode.
Yeah,
see, you got to remember as you're
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. I love the vibe in here, by the way. You and Ben Chapman, another one of my favorite guys in town. I remember when you guys first moved into this pad, and you gotta tell the story. Is it? I think it's your bedroom in there, or whatever. The slant,
yeah.
Bro. The slant, dude.
The foundation, baby. It's sinking over there.
Yeah, man. The vibe with the incense going right now, and you sipping the like that cup is just classical. And I wouldn't expect you to be drinking coffee out of anything else.
Yeah, it's a little tea party cup.
Yeah, man. We all love a good tea party every now and then.
That's pretty much what we're having right now.
Oh, dude, absolutely, 100%. So so as far as like recently now, when did the Dreamer come out? Because that came out That came out I think once I had moved to town. Because I got here late 2018.
Well, so me and Ben started that song like one afternoon. At a house I used to live at in 12 South, in kind of our little writing room, and where we kept all of our guitars and stuff, and we had the lights off, and for whatever reason, like we just kind of talked around this idea of a kid that, you know, there's a certain point when you stop becoming a kid and you feel like you're a man, but you're not really a man yet.
Yeah.
And that's when you start looking at older women.
Oh,
you know, like
we've all been
like
there.
you know, like I'm done dating girls, and I want to try my hand at an older woman. And so we talked about the process of that, and we just kind of talked it out, and then it kind of felt like the right way to tell that story was to talk it, you know. And then Matt Daniel, one of our best friends, kind of helped us finish it about 2 or 3 weeks later, and this was probably 2.5 years ago. And then one night I came home from the bars, and me and my roommate Steve Everett went up to his room at the top of the house and just set up a mic and did a you know, a whiskey one take on the song, and then we put that out.
Oh, that was just a one take, just completely stripped down.
Yeah, and I was
in
like,
your fucking house.
Yeah, and so I still think that may be the best version of the tune. You know, it's coming out on the record as a full band thing, and they're two separate things of themselves. But like, there's a certain magic sometimes that happens when you just kind of take a snapshot of a song.
And that recording, man. I mean, I know somebody who you guys have looked up to is a guy named Guy Clark.
Yeah, very much so.
And that style of, and today it gets called like the traditional style of country gets called Americana,
right?
Which I know is kind of where you guys in some ways fit in, but your shit's still country, because country at the roots is acoustic guitar, storytelling, and a story. That's the bare bones. That's the foundation of country damn music,
right? Yeah,
and that's what y'all embody. That's what the Dreamer is.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
story.
You
It's
know,
literally you telling a story.
You know, that was kind of a one-off. You know, I probably won't do any other song like that. You know,
but
again, and I wrote it with my best friend.
Yeah, and
so it's like it was almost like the beginning of a movement for us, whether it's a movement for anything else. Like it was the start of something. To me, that's how I identify with that song, is that it was the start of kind of us as friends. And you know, our friend group has grown, but like we've all facilitated and made each other better. And I feel like that song is kind of the poster of that.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've seen it at our rounds that we do. I've seen it at Why Not, or not Why Not, at Revival. I've seen it most recently at the Raised Rowdy on the Road. Shout out Raised Rowdy, which that was a special night. You four gentlemen,
I remember
being up there. It becomes a big sing along.
I remember the first time, like Matt Daniel even remembers this, like that me and Ben and Matt had just played some shows in Texas and came back to Revival, and I was like, I think I'm going to try to play this song. And everybody was talking and stuff, and, you know, we definitely didn't know how it was going to go over, because, like, it doesn't really grab people's attention to talk a song, you know, but it did. Everybody got quiet, you know, because talking something is pretty low-key, you know. And it just kind of has had its own evolution of, it's had its own life cycle, you know, and now it's coming out on a full-length record, and it feels like it's already kind of, this is like the next chapter of its existence, you know, because people actually like know that song, which is, I've never had a song in my life that people have known, you know, and been able to, you know, sing back and have their own attachment with.
Yeah, what was the process of making a record like? Because that's got to be pretty fucking cool.
Honestly, the process of writing the songs for the record was the true long labor of love kind of thing. We actually recorded the record in like 2 days.
Wow.
with David Dorn at Farmland Studios. We did 10 songs in the first day, and then the second day we went in and did the last song, Patches, and Matt Daniels sang harmony on the record. There's only one harmony on it. And then we did some overdubs on pedal steel and a couple other things, and the record was done. And then we sent it off to mixing. John Behrens did a great job of mixing, and he also mastered the record. And that was it.
How crazy is that? I mean,
honestly, it was pretty crazy. I just spent a month in Seymour, Texas.
That's where Matt's at, right?
Yeah, that was where he was at, and this was kind of over quarantine, pandemic stuff.
I feel like there were a lot of y'all out there, like a lot of people, like art, like y'all's crew in Nashville,
right.
whether it's you, it's Ben, Joby, McKinney, like you guys as a whole. Going out to Texas seems like a regular thing. It seems like a therapeutic thing. One, because your boy's out there, but two, it gets you out of the craziness of this town. Like sometimes you just need that release for inspiration and mental health.
And you got to be here because this is where, stuff is going on industry wise and everything like that. But it's much easier to write country music in the country.
Yeah, amen to that.
So, but yeah, it was. I still look back at it and be like, I couldn't do that record again the way that I did it. It was just a special thing, Yeah.
Now, did you write those songs knowing that you were going to make a record, or were you?
Yeah.
Or were you? Because I know a lot of times people just write songs to write songs, and then eventually, when it pops up that you're going to be doing a project, or you got somebody taking a chance on you, you take your best songs. But you wrote that to be a complete project.
I mean, over the course of like 2 years, I wrote like 100 songs.
Yeah.
2.5 years probably, and we all did. I mean, we wrote like 5 days a week, really, and the goal was to write enough songs that you could then build a record out of those. It's almost like you only wear 10% of your closet, And I'd never done that before. I'd never written enough songs to be able to, create a record out of that. It wasn't like I was writing for a record, but I was,
Yeah, deep down, man. And now, so you get to Nashville. You said that was like, there we go, we got that. The mic stands they're good. Amazon's best, good. Baby. Amazon Prime. We balling on a budget in this bitch.
All day.
So you moved to Nashville. What was your first like thoughts on Nashville? Because a lot of people move here and then they get complacent. They're like, the goal is to move to Nashville, and then they stop grinding or this, that, and the other thing. What was the Nate Fredrick experience when you first got to town, and what were some of those early memories?
I got a job the first day that I moved to town at a bar called South on Demumbrian that's not there anymore. And I obviously had a different outlook on music and everything when I moved to town, and that's the point of moving to Nashville, is not to move here and make it what you want. It's for the town to make you into something that is correct, and that's why they call it a 10-year town, or whatever your 10 years ends up being. This town is supposed to kind of slough off the stuff you don't need and turn you into what you need to be for yourself and for the music industry, and I truly believe that. That's really kind of what, the first 3 years were an undoing of myself, and then the next 3 years have been understanding and creation of that.
What do you mean by undoing? What were some of the
just not knowing what good even is, and not even knowing if you're that, and just kind of like realizing what you don't know. It takes that long to because when you move from a smaller town, or any town where things aren't really going on the way they are in Nashville, it's not that you think you're smarter than you are, but you don't even know if you're dumb or smart. Like you haven't taken your stuff on the road and seeing if your outlook travels or how that works within what's really going on.
Yeah.
And that's why you move to Nashville, to see, like, do I need to get better? Am I good enough? Like to ask all those questions and try your stuff out and find out how far that takes you, and if you don't quit and you stay in this town, it will make you into something that it will give back to you, but you have to put in, the time and the work and the thought and the understanding to realize it will show you what you need to be, as opposed to make you into what you want to be.
Yeah. I got you on that. What was your first night, your first wild night at the bars that you can remember? Because I know we forget a lot of
Well, I
them.
mean, I bartended, or I bar backed actually at South.
And
before I did that.
South became Frisky Frogs, and then became Live Oak, correct?
Well, no, South actually is it was further down a little bit more down the street, in between Tin Roof
and Doghouse.
So it would be like there's Tin Roof, and then Doghouse, and then South, and then Live Oak.
Oh, so it's that hookah place now,
right?
Okay.
And it was a wild bar. It's kind of a cursed location because there's been a lot of places turn over in that with that lease there.
Have you just seen a big turnover in Nashville as a whole, and being here as long as you have now?
I mean, yeah.
In
you kind of fall out of touch
Yeah.
with people, and especially if they move back home.
Yeah. Have you seen a lot of people move back home in your 5.5 years?
I mean, a little bit. I mean,
because I'm not there yet. Like I moved here fall of 2018, and I'm not quite at that point where like I know a shit ton of people who have moved home. But then I'll talk to a guy like Ryan Nelson, and he's like, "Bro, there were so many people I've seen in 7 years."
Yeah, I mean, it's like a summer camp that is all year round.
Yeah,
but you need to stay because it will be hard at some point. And that's when you find out.
Has this place become home yet?
Yeah, it has. It took about 3.5 years for it to do that, but now it definitely is.
Yeah, because I'm not there yet. Because I'm here about half the amount of time that you are.
Yeah, I mean it's when you kind of find out what you're made of a little bit, and then you don't really find friends necessarily as you become something that fits and attracts the like-minded people, and that's really the goal.
Yeah. How long did it take you to find your circle that you needed
about
to be in?
About 3.5 years.
3.5?
Yep. When I met Ben Chapman, and I met Matt Daniel, and I met Ryan Nelson, and Job Fortner, and then I re-met Colin Nash again after that.
Dude, what a special! I mean, that whole group is just
Tyler
awesome.
David, Harper O'Neill, Vinny Paolizzi at Revival. So many people really now, but Ben Chapman and Matt Daniel were the sole focus of that really changed and affected.
How'd you meet those guys? Because Ben's a young gun. You've been doing this for a while, and I think Matt's kind of in the middle.
It was all at the same time, about 2.5, maybe almost 3 years ago. I was playing at Revival, and I was hanging out with Ryan Nelson, who I just met that night.
Oh, wow.
And Chad Bishop, and I left my guitar in Ryan Nelson's truck, the back of it. So the next day when I woke up, I had to go to Ryan Nelson's to get my guitar, and that was when I met Matt Daniel. And then about 2 weeks after that, Ben Chapman had not yet moved to town. And was that in like December, Ben? January. And he was driving his mom's car, and he came over to write, and we kind of hit it off as just like-minded, like thinkers, and he was a great guitar player, and he didn't really know anybody but Channing Wilson and a couple of the people from Revival and Rob Snyder. And then I was like, I had just met these people, Ryan Nelson and Matt Daniel, and so then I kind of brought Ben with me a little bit to kind of become friends with them, and then Matt Daniel was moved in with Job Fortner, and then me and Ben just kind of palled around and really met the people at the same time. But I'd lived here for 3.5 years.
Isn't it funny how that works? Because I've had that happen recently, where like
it happened really quick.
Yeah.
It took a long time to happen really quick.
Yeah, for me, it's like I've gotten a lot closer to folks like you, Ben, and Meg, and Ryan Nelson, and Joby, and even guys like Trey Lewis, McKinney, like that whole crew. I knew who y'all were, but I didn't know, like y'all weren't my boys, like y'all weren't my friends until recently. But it's funny, like looking back on like how you interact with people in this town.
Well, and it truly has to do with like when you're ready to meet people that are correct for you, you have to become that on the inside first. Like, it's not about making a bunch of friends and changing. It's like becoming something that it's just whatever. We all met because we were at the same outlook and point to converge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We could have met each other 2 years prior and been at different points in our life and not been best friends, but because it was the right time. It was meant to be in my mind.
Agreed.
It was very serendipitous, for that. So
that's an SAT word. You're a smart motherfucker, aren't you?
I'm not. I went to 4 colleges, never got a degree.
Well, I mean, being smart and like being about going to classes are two different things.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah. My dad instilled that in me a lot. I'm a deep thinker.
Yeah, you are, and a lot of folks in like that crew that you just mentioned, because like people meet Ryan Nelson and he's a wild motherfucker.
But deep dude.
But then you start talking and you get to know Ryan Nelson.
Right.
That dude is deep, and you're in that similar kind of way. What were your majors in your
communications?
Okay.
Was business communications.
Okay.
Nothing real crazy. I think Ryan Nelson was a history major, and he loves maps.
He does. He fucking does love maps.
Like if you see
maps and pie charts, and
he just it's wild.
He geeks out and goes crazy. Mm-hmm. It's funny. You get him going down a rabbit hole too, and he'll just go.
For sure.
He'll just go. When was the first time that you saw the Ryan Nelson Fire show?
I mean, you're really right. When I went over to get my guitar, the next morning that I met him,
they were burning in the back. They were burning fires.
The
fires.
I thought you meant like Ryan Nelson, like crazy.
No, I'm talking about him. I'm talking about the pallets and him dancing. It
was probably that week. I think he was burning the fire then, and that's Ryan Nelson fires go hand in hand,
Yeah, they get a little wild, man. So I mean, going back even more, I want to dive more into the Missouri stuff. So for you growing up, what kind of music were you bumping? What were you jamming?
My mom always played like older music, like Van Morrison and Otis Redding and stuff like that. My family has like been musical, but not like as like an instrumentation or type of deal. We've always listened to music and appreciated it. So that was kind of like my. I have like songs that pop out to me as like. My parents used to own a houseboat. It's like houseboat music and like pool music, like things that like bring me back, to that type of thing. And it was always older. I think that's some of the best music is older music, simpler stuff, and but then like I kind of got into a little bit of Dave Matthews and John Mayer when all that stuff was coming out. But then always back to like the roots of. Like I said, Van Morrison and Otis Redding and Bill Withers and kind of the soulful music. You know.
Are you a big concert guy? Did you go to a lot of concerts growing up, or were you
not
a
ton?
Fan? Are you a
not
fan
a ton.
of
I really wasn't like I said, I played guitar like for myself, but I wasn't really like a music guy. I played golf.
I grew up playing golf too, not to the level that you were. I mean, I would go out, like a lot of people talk about fishing and hunting with their dads, all the good old boys down here. I grew up playing golf with my dad and grandpa.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that's
and
what I
so
would do.
it's like, when I started to play music, people were like, what are you doing? Like that's not how people identified with me. But like I said, I think I've always just been a deep thinker. So it's like whatever. Music was just an outlet to help express myself. And I didn't find that out until I was 20 years old.
What's the lowest golf score you've ever shot?
64.
Jesus Christ. From where? From the tips?
I mean, it was, where was that? It was at River Cut golf course in Springfield, Missouri at the city championship. Actually, that's not right. It was 65. It wasn't 64.
Still a ridiculous
7
score.
under par, I think it was. And, I think it was from the tips. I just got hot with my putter, man.
Hey, you drive for show and you putt for dough,
that's
man.
Right.
That's some real stuff with that. Do you still play a lot here in town? Or
sometimes I do. Like it varies. I'll get into probably by about April. I'll get the bug back again. Job Fortner's gotten really into golf, and so he wants to play anytime.
Go over to Cheekwood, baby.
Yep, he loves
That's where
it.
Joby likes going.
Golf's opened up a lot of doors for me, and it's always been something that I will play for the rest of my life because it's kind of made me who I am. So
Yeah, dude. I mean, for me, it's a funny game too because like you hit on top, you hit the top of the ball, it goes down. You hit the bottom of the ball, it goes up.
Right.
It's and you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, I mean the way you play golf is the way you play life in a lot of ways.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite course to go to around here?
If
you had somebody that came, people come to Nashville to drink and get into bullshit. But if somebody were to come to Nashville and want to golf, where would you send them?
I used to work at Bellmead Country Club, so I love that golf course. But I played in the Tennessee State Open at the Grove, and that is a fantastic golf course.
Where's that?
Where is the Grove, Ben? Do you know? They play a gig there in Franklin.
There's a lot of nice golf courses in Williamson
Golf Club
County.
of Tennessee is really nice. In Kingston Springs, and then Greystone is a really good golf course as well. So I mean, there's a lot of good golf.
It's affordable relatively around here too. Because when I'm from up in New York,
they're good at making the metro stuff like really affordable. For sure.
We got to get out and play sometime because I'll go out. And we were getting I was going out with just I feel like 2020 was a big year for the growth of the sport of golf.
I think a lot of people bought their first set of golf clubs in 2020,
which is great. Like I love seeing it's gonna make the courses a little more crowded next year, but I love it too, man. For the growth of the sport, 'cause a lot of people sleep on golf.
They do. It's kind of the everyman sport, but it's looked at as like a country club snobby deal.
Have you been up to? I think it's called Pebble Creek up in Jolton.
I haven't. I've heard of it.
Bro, so I played there with our buddy Garrett Biggs, and we were the only two guys out there. Mm-hmm. I like to bring out some of my Delta 8 stuff, and I bring out some cigars. I have my little travel kit. Some of it's Delta 8, some of it's Mary Jane, whatever. We have a good time. But this course, dude, it's in the mountains. So like there's like warning signs when you're driving the carts. Mm-hmm. They don't even let you walk it because it's like on a cart, there's like a couple minutes in between holes. Right. Dude, it was like pouring rain. It was all kinds. We almost died like 3 times. It was crazy. Mountain golf's fucking nuts.
You're out in the elements when you're playing golf, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, have you traveled around, gone and played at another states besides Missouri and Tennessee?
I used to play junior golf with the AJGA, which is American Junior Golf Association. I played a ton of golf courses, played with people that are now on tour, a bunch of the Oklahoma boys like Ricky Fowler. And I've got a lot of friends that are involved in the golf industry or on the Korn Ferry Tour, or some of them have made it up to the PGA Tour, and I played. That was what I did from.
Did you think
13 to 18 years old? It was just golf.
Was being a pro golfer, was that something on your mind?
Yeah, it was. But then I kind of realized what I had to do and what it was going to require of me to be able to do that, and I just wasn't there. And I'm probably a better player now than I even was. I kind of had a falling out with golf because I took it so seriously that I lost the love for it.
Golf becomes a lot easier when you don't give a shit.
Yeah, and so
so does life, honestly.
Yeah, and so it just has, in the same way that music has helped me express myself, golf has taught me how to think. So my relationship with golf is a good one now, because of the things that it's taught me to be able to move forward in anything that I want to do, as opposed to just a sport that I'm trying to be good at.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Now, quick little bit of advice stuff. If somebody was moving to Nashville, what would you tell them? Some free game.
Stay. Don't move home. Really buy into the fact of, take advantage of your opportunities and be a good person and just trust that it's baked into the cake of Nashville to make you what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't come here to up your status, you come here to get better.
Yeah, trust the process for sure.
Easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. No, there's a lot of ways to get distracted, and there's a lot of ways to have that doubt. This music shit's tough.
Yeah, and it
ain't for everybody.
But if you stick around long enough, you get on the other side of it, and you learn about yourself, and that's the important part.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself?
The biggest thing.
I know that's a tough one. I'm good with the questions today. We're doing good.
The biggest thing that I've learned about myself, that I'm harder on myself than I am other people.
Perfectionist.
Maybe that
in a way,
but like I give other people the benefit of the doubt, where sometimes I don't give myself that, and I'm learning to do that more.
That's good, man. That's good. So, and then one last thing, food. Are you a big barbecue guy? You a hot chicken guy?
I love Mexican food. I think would be my favorite.
Best Mexican.
I love McCabe Pub. That's like my go-to place.
That's the home. That's the hometown. That's
right
the joint.
now. But then when Matt Daniel lived in town, it was Los Canaritos.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good spot.
You can go in there with $10, get 2 beers and 2 tacos and rice and beans.
Yeah, man, and I've learned to like the taco trucks. I moved to as Ryan Nelson.
There's some good Mexican in Nashville.
As Ryan Nelson calls it, L.A., or he calls it the other L.A. You got Los Angeles, you got Louisiana, you got Lower Alabama, then you got Lower Antioch, which is where me and Ryan Nelson live at. And the taco trucks there are freaking delicious.
Super good.
So. Hell yeah, dude. So Mexican food. So Los Canaritos, that's your recommendation?
That's our go-to for sure.
So yeah, Mexican, man. Definitely a Nashville staple.
I agree.
Something that I was not expecting coming down from New York. I was not expecting as much of that in the state of Tennessee.
It doesn't seem like it would be a Mexican mecca. But
Mexican Mecca. That's a good way to put it, man. There's almost as many Mexican restaurants and taco trucks as there are bars.
Yeah.
Might be more Mexican restaurants than bars.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
What's your order? You seem like a simple kind of guy, but you could be a fajitas
Ben
guy.
Chapman got me on the. I guess it would be it's just chicken, cheese, and rice with jalapenos.
Simple, but the little kick of the jalapeno. That's not bad. That's not bad.
And Ryan Nelson got me into hot sauce and putting that on everything. So
yeah, he does. He does put that on.
He loves
everything.
the heat.
Yeah. No, I'm a simple. For me, as long as it's got the rice and beans, like I might go grab some freaking Mexican after. You can make me all hungry.
And it's making me hungry too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we might have to do that before we got our later shit. But so talking again, we got to talk about your pup right here too. I see she got. So you're a Razorbacks fan?
Yeah, I am. I went to school there for a little bit.
So that's your team. So you're from Mizzou, but you pull Pig Suey.
I do, and her name's Wanda. She's 10 years old, so she's really been a part of, or been here for the entire music thing for me, and that's what I started because we have a distribution deal, but my independent label is called Wanda Recordings.
Hey, hell yeah!
She doesn't even know, but she's the face of the whole deal. So.
That's awesome, dude. No, we love hearing that. She's a good old girl. She's nice. She's definitely been very friendly with me coming in, but not like the obnoxious friendly. Like she comes
pretty
up
chill, but she has a personality.
She puts her head on your knee and starts licking you, and she's very friendly, but not like jumping.
Right. It's not. Yeah, she's very well behaved, but friendly.
Very well behaved. And you can't stay mad at a dog.
No,
like
you
that.
can't. You can't.
She's a sweet girl right there, chilling, hanging out. So yeah, different shade of blue, man.
Yep.
So it's gonna be coming out. How proud are you of this project? And
Man,
if you had to promote? This is your chance to promote it right now. What do you got to tell us about it?
It just was. My heart is totally full with this record because I wrote it with my friends, and it really is just kind of like I didn't really care how many people really heard it. I wasn't gonna, put it up on a pedestal, but for me, it was just such an important record that I had to make moving forward for the rest of my musical journey. It was just a moment in time. I wrote Different Shade of Blue with Matt Daniel. That was the first song that me and him wrote together. It encapsulates the whole idea of the record, where it's like I'm not really outwardly at a different place that people can really tell, but it's a different outlook on where I'm at. Yeah. It's not like I'm at a point of success that people can really understand, but the way that I look at things now, being even in the same situation, is just so much healthier for me. And so it's just a different shade of blue.
Hey.
And it just, this record will is very important to me, you know, and my friends and the people that helped make it. It was definitely not a solo effort.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Is there one song in particular where you're like, this is what I'm most proud of, or are they all kind of your babies?
I mean, I just am proud of it because I actually feel like I made a record as opposed to I made a collection of songs.
Which is something that gets lost in today's
Yeah, so it's like
music.
I really do look at the record as a singular thing as opposed to
I've
a collection.
Talking with some other friends who have put out their first records recently. They've said to me that they don't want to just go in and do singles anymore. Like, they just want to do records. Like, there's something magical about being in a studio and doing a record.
Yeah, man. Like, I'd always wonder what that would be like, and you have to do so much. You can't make a record in, you know, the drop of a hat. You know, it's a process. And because it's a process, then you hold it so much closer to you because you've had to go through every step to get there. You know, a song is just, you know, one little piece of, I feel like, the process of making a record, you know, one scene in a movie type of thing. So, like, I will always try, hopefully have the ability to make records, because that's how I feel like that the true growth and how music really exists for me is in the form of a record.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm very excited to see where this thing goes. The singles have been awesome. Thank you for giving us a taste of the record, not having to just wait for the full release.
Right.
We love it. We love it when artists can put a few out. I think it's a great marketing plan, and it seems to be working well. And you're getting put on some playlists, which is now a big thing these days.
Yep.
And
it's been a good start, and it's been a team effort with the people that I'm working with and are working with me, and from the songwriters to the record to David Dorn, who produced it, to all the musicians that played on it, down to the management and distribution and marketing. You know, I could not have done it alone. You know, so it's definitely not just my record. I would hope that everybody feels like it's theirs. So.
Hell yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, dude, thank you so much for hanging out today. And
my pleasure, buddy.
Welcoming me into your home. I love this place, hanging out, vibing with the boys and with Miss Wanda right there. We love it. And well, you cool playing a couple songs for us?
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, sweet. Well, before old Nate gets that guitar and starts picking us a few, thank you guys as always for listening to the In the Round podcast. Make sure you check out Nate Fredrick. Different Shade of Blue. It's coming out soon. We got some singles out with it now. He's got some other stuff up as well, so y'all can check out the back catalog. Nate Fredrick Music on Instagram, or just Nate Fredrick?
Nate Fredrick Music.
Nate Fredrick Music. Look him up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Make sure you follow along with our good buddy here, and you can always catch him playing writers rounds or playing acoustic sets, and you can really get an appreciation for what Nate does and what some of his talented friends do as well. So if you're over in Nashville and you see his name on a flyer, please come out and check him out, and also check out our writers round. We got one tomorrow night with some good friends. Also shout out Whaletail Media. If you're getting hitched, you're looking for content, Wales and his team, they are the folks to help you out. Whaletail Media, we love them, making waves all across Music City. And then, of course, our green sponsor, our friends at Trailside CBD Emporium. Remember, promo code ITR, 20% off at checkout. Get all your green needs met with our friends at Trailside CBD Emporium. And also remember to rate, subscribe, like, tell your friends, share it on your Instagram stories that you've been listening to the podcast. We couldn't be doing it without y'all listening. And be sure to check out A Different Shade of Blue. Nate Fredrick, the full-length record, coming here soon. We're getting so close to it. Check out what he's got out as well. Now, without further ado, it's our boy Nate Fredrick singing us some tunes. Y'all been listening to the In the Round podcast.
Hey there, darling, don't you know it is perfectly alright you stay inside and take it slow, 'cause it's raining. Anything out here you can do, like slide on over out of the blue if you want me to. But don't look now, 'cause I'm on your side of town. And if you're lazy and you're looking to get something done, Baby, let me be the one. You know, girl, I wanna be the one. Hey, darling. Hey, lady, stay right where you are. 'Cause girl, whatever it is you need, I will get it all. It ain't too far. But don't look now, 'cause I'm on your side of town. And if you're lazy and you look to get something done, baby, let me be the one. You know, girl, I wanna be the one. It's been so long since we had each other to ourselves. It's always something. 'Cause girl, you're something. But don't look now, 'cause I'm on your side of town. And if you're lazy and you look to get something done, baby, let me be the one. You know, girl, I wanna be the one. And I always wanna be, oh, baby, the one. Oh, yeah. He slid them on Saturday morning. There's nothing like a pair of jeans that are worn in the mama's bandana. Patchwork come undone. I slide into home, the back right pocket just couldn't hold on. There's nothing mama can't sew, but she couldn't stitch fix this time. I guess that's the way it goes. Some things you can fix till they just stay broke. You can reminisce till the cows come home. There ain't no sense when there's too many holes. So it's in with the new and out with the old. Dad drove it 10 years before. Brother got the keys to that Chrysler four-door. By the time he was 16, he was 23. He said good luck with that thing, with a smile and a wink. He tossed him the key. Well, they ran for a week till that old engine just gave out. I guess that's the way it goes. Some things you can fix till they just stay broke. You can reminisce till the cows come home. There ain't no sense when there's too many holes. So it's in with the new and out with the old. She was his first kiss, but he didn't know then wouldn't be his last goodbye. I suppose even people wear out sometimes. I guess that's the way it goes. Some things you can fix till they just stay broke. You can reminisce till the cows come home. There ain't no sense when there's too many holes. So it's in with the new and out with the old. So it's in with a new and I with the